Okay, welcome to Sacred Conversations. My name is Mandulo, and just pre warning, I am doing this outside because it is less noisy than in the house for some odd reason. But you're just going to hear people, neighbors, etc., dogs, cars, planes. So let's just move with it. We've got to always just work with what we have. Today, we are speaking about abandonment and how they can show up in the healed space and in the unhealed space. Now, I'm going to give you context as to what abandonment is so that we can just help you shift perspective on when you feel abandoned, because nobody has never experienced abandonment in their life. It's part of the cycles that we go through because it's part of the human emotions and the human experience. And just being able to grasp a deeper understanding on what it means through each phase of our lives and the actual empowerment. These talks are about empowering you. Okay, so to be abandoned means to be neglected, rejected, and or absent of. To be abandoned means to be neglected, rejected, and or absent of. The opposite is someone who can stick by you simply by being there and or feeling supported by them. The opposite is someone who can stick by you by being and or feeling supported by them. Okay, so it's just to give you a reference of what abandonment is. You might know it. You might have just needed a reminder. So we're working with that too. So up until you heal from feeling you were not good enough, from those who said that they loved us, what we usually think when we feel rejected, neglected, and abandoned or absent of something, someone to make us feel whole, it is our highest perspective rejecting the part of us that doesn't resonate with the thing, the person, or the place. I'll say that again because this is very important. Up until you feel good enough or you're healed from that feeling of not feeling good enough, from those people who say that they love you, what you usually think about rejection, neglection, would that even be a word? To be neglected, abandoned, or absent of something or someone to make you feel whole, it is a mirror reflection. That feeling of not feeling good enough is a mirror reflection of our highest perspective, rejecting the part of us that doesn't resonate with the thing, the person, or the place. So, if someone abandons you, it's because they're also feeling some form of abandonment from you, because in that moment, your highest perspective is rejecting their presence, because your highest perspective, source, is constantly protecting you and knows how precious and sensitive your energy is, even if you don't fully understand it. And because you are being protected on your behalf, your heart is communicating to you. Your subconscious mind will block what your heart, or let me just rather say this, your conditioned mind will block your subconscious mind to what it is really feeling. Because what happens is you are conditioned to not trust your intuition, because by whatever external force and reprimandment or threat that you get, whatever form of abuse, a misuse of an opportunity to be in your presence, then it will come across as that. Okay? So that's first and foremost a huge power for you, that your higher self is protecting you from that. Okay? From that thing, because of your sensitivity from a child. And as it grows, it can either become greater depending on the healing journey that you go through, or it can become less. But because of your level of sensitivity, and because we become what we eat, and what we eat is what we consume energetically in whatever way or form, your higher power rejects that. So the person in your guardianship or in your surroundings feels that rejection from you, and that's why they act the way they act. Okay, so just to give you a sense of empowerment, to take your power back. And one thing you must understand is that we are all leaders to varying degrees, just like love. Love goes from a spectrum of fear, and the highest is joy and peace. Okay. Because we are leaders, we develop skills towards having better skills and capacity for leadership. That's some. Then we also have the potential to lead others. So if you develop the skills, if you develop more of your skills of your natural leadership, when you start learning to trust your intuition, then you have a possible opportunity to lead others too. Okay. Then we have the potential. So then we have the potential to lead others. If we develop skills towards following, then we are still leading ourselves. You are always ever leading. You're either leading yourself to lead and help others be led, or you are leading yourself to following. Okay. The important thing to remember about all of this is that you have a choice. So take your power back today, reclaim it, and understand that no matter what happens, from what you're feeling from that sense of abandonment, or you're feeling rejected, or you're feeling not supported, and you are feeling neglected or absent of something, it's because it's an absence of the connection to the divine. So every single time you feel that absence, it's because the divine is trying to connect to you to help you realize that it is better off for you in the long run. It might not feel like it for now, that you only and ever mainly find the support from your source, because very rarely will you find that deep connection that you will with your higher power, because everybody's seeking for the same thing. Now, if everybody is seeking the same thing and they're walking around with their batteries, if we had to sort of connect the dots with our energy and our batteries and our sense of sustenance, we could look at it from a point of, you basically could be running your battery on like 0.5%, not 0.5%, 50%, sorry. Okay. So are you leading with fear, or are you leading with joy and peace? Okay, if you're leading with fear, then you're leading yourself to follow. You are leading yourself to follow a certain linear pathway. You are leading yourself into following the masses, into dogma, into a certain conditioning that doesn't allow for your voice and your sense of self-expression to be expressed with freedom. Okay. So then we circle back to, I've always said the beginning is the end. And you are first unconscious of it, even though actually you are conscious of it. It's just because of your environment and your nurturing that will tell you that you do not, you shouldn't listen to your intuition, basically. So then you end up not trusting yourself. You end up just like doubting yourself. But the beginning is the end. And as you grow older, it will first feel unconscious. To remain unconscious is also a choice, by the way. And up until you start leading with your heart, you will continue to struggle, perhaps even more. Because what happens is, because the fear almost consumes you, you end up contracting yourself in such a deep way that you struggle more and more. And then what happens when you struggle more and more, because you don't want to deal with the discomfort, you end up wanting to escape or to numb the discomfort that you're feeling. And often when you're numbing it, you think you are doing well. You know, you have those moments where you're like, oh, okay, I can use X, Y, and Z to be able to numb this pain that I'm feeling within myself, this sense of neglection. Why do I keep saying this word? neglecting myself. I'm going to have to Google this at the end of the day. Neglection. Is that even a thing? Okay. So when you feel those feelings, you want to numb them. The healing path is about allowing yourself to feel them so that you can understand that this is almost like breaking through the layers that are blocking you from the inner voice, God that's speaking to you, your source, your higher power, whatever you call it. Those whispers that become strong and very clear voices. Okay. So you need to become more interested. First, if I can share my experience of God, what I know about God, the universe, it's an experience. And as an experience, you got to take interest, because as many people as we have on this planet, everybody is having a different experience. Even if you have to go to a certain area, everybody is having their own experiences. So as much as you can say the scene and certain setting is similar, we all going to, according to our unhealed wounds or our healed wounds, we're going to have a completely different experience. So you have to take interest in yourself, and that thing, the people, the places, the thing will lure you and feel like it draws you in, so that you are able to, when you're interested in something, you want to get to know it more. And as you get to know the thing more, you get to know yourself more. So it's very important to understand your own nature and to understand your sense of alignment and what pulls you out and what pulls you back, who pulls you out of alignment and what pulls you back, so that you can get to know yourself. And through knowing yourself more, you're knowing the divine even deeper. Okay. So thus, being more aware comes from not wanting to struggle this way anymore. Thus, a need is created to help you become more aware of pulling yourself out of the struggle. Your needs are created from a sense of lack, and your needs are created from a sense of misalignment. You always get what you want, and it goes from varying degrees of fear, joy, and peace. Life speaks in energy, vibration, and frequency. And here's the thing. The intensity between fear and moving from fear to joy and peace of your desire or lack thereof is an ask from the universe to deliver your requests. Your requests arrive based off how much attention you are paying to that which you ask for. So here's the thing. You are always receiving, and you're always paying attention. You're always paying by the energy that your thoughts, basically your thoughts is a currency. Okay. So you're always asking for things. What happens is you have thoughts from your conditioning that says you don't deserve it, and all that talk about you aren't deserving, you're not good enough to have it, right? So this becomes important, and I'll keep saying this, to do the healing work. The healing work is about recalibrating your nervous system back into safety from fear, and then rewiring your brain from fear into joy and peace, so that you are expectant of joy and peace in your life. Okay, so let's just recap. You are, and when I mean you are, your higher self is the one showing you that this is not something your soul wants, so it rejects it by making you feel you are the one being rejected, neglected, and not worthy of having another present with you. So be grateful for those moments, because God is giving you space to be able to connect, so that you can rely more on that source, which is a higher power and more of a greater power than any human being can give you. Okay. You are always divinely guided. Remember this. You are always divinely protected, and you are always divinely supported. Okay. Now, after I've given you some context, quite a bit of context to understand the ways in which abandonment shows up, I'm going to first start off when you are unhealed. 3 ways in which abandonment shows up. It will show up as feeling lonely. It will show up as feeling sad. and it will show up as feeling overwhelmed with the stimulation outside of you. I'll say that again. When you are unhealed, abandonment can show up as feeling lonely, feeling sad, and feeling overwhelmed. Okay. When you are healed, abandonment can show up. When you are healed or ready for healing, let me say that, abandonment will show up as a requirement for solitude and an enjoyment of solitude. That's one. 2, peace of mind. And then 3, silence and the joy thereof. So you're not intimidated by silence anymore. You're not intimidated by peace of mind. You're not interested in chaos. And solitude becomes something that you enjoy because you understand that you're not alone when you are in the presence of the divine. Okay. And all I can hope is that this empowers you and reminds you that the next time you feel abandoned, whether this is a moment of healing to reveal the truth, can you lean into the question? Keep leaning into the question of, why do I feel abandoned from this person, place, and thing? Because what you really need to ask, actually, is, why am I rejecting this? Why is my higher self rejecting this? And the more you ask that question, why is my higher self rejecting this? Where am I misaligned? Where is this person misaligned in my life? Where is this thing misaligned in my life? Where is this person misaligned in my life? And then you can allow yourself to be more empowered than to be disempowered. Okay. So this is the ways in which abandonment shows up. But you must understand that abandonment and rejection is your power, because Source is calling you in and saying, no, this is not the resonant energy for us in the long run. So learn to trust your intuition and to develop those skills again with yourself. If you are needing assistance and support, that's the work that I do, helping you release that trauma and whatever pain body is sitting in your body when you're feeling that loneliness, that Source is calling you to be alone in solitude, and you fear what's going to show up when truth comes out, and you just need that support and holding space. Please do get in touch. My email will be down in the description below. I'm sending you so much love and empowerment to understand that your higher self is helping you so much. Get to know thyself.